My first and only time being depressed was back in 2013 and maybe like 2014. And it's not that I haven't experienced hardships since then. It's just when I realized that I was depressed, I told myself this would be the only time that I will ever allow myself to feel this low again. And that's exactly what I meant. It doesn't mean that I didn't feel my feelings after that, but I knew that if I could make it through that moment, I could make it through anything. And I'm so grateful that Instagram did not look the way it looks now. Reels did not exist. We were still only just posting pictures. And I was healing offline. I had a bad breakup my senior year of junior, senior year of high school. And then I moved to another city and my ex moved too. And it was just it would just added more fuel to the fire. I was smoking my heaviest. I was quiet. I didn't really have motivation for life. I failed my classes and I decided to move back home because I felt like, what did I have to show for myself? I was staying with my grandparents off and on, and I wasn't smoking. I wasn't drinking. And that was the first time that I realized, you're sad. Something is going on right now. And the city I was living in was Tallahassee, Florida. And if you know Tallahassee, it's a party city because it's college kids. And of course I had fun, but at the same time, it wasn't a place that was for me. Living with my grandparents, I gave myself space to come undone. I gave myself space to feel my feelings. I started journaling. I started meditating. It was my first time striving to be plant-based, and I did it for like a month or two. I was working out every day. I just locked in so crazy. And it shifted everything in me. It showed me that I did not need to smoke, that I was using it as a crutch to avoid my life. It showed me that I didn't need to drink, that I was using that to just exist with the rest of the people. Because it makes sense why now I don't smoke and I don't drink. I'm 3 years without alcohol and I don't know how long without everything else. I moved to New York at 20 years old and I used to smoke Black and Milds. And when I moved to New York, I remember I went to the corner store to ask for a black. And the guy said, oh, we only sell 10 packs. Like, we only sell a pack of 10s. You can't get a single. Because in Florida, you can go to the corner store and get a single. And I said, 10? Oh, I don't need that much. I don't have a problem. Or at least I convinced myself that I didn't. I also felt my breathing change in New York. Going up and down those stairs and subways. I knew that I had to stop if I wanted to live the life that I was truly desiring. And I moved to New York for dance. I went to the Alvin Ailey School. I went to the Ailey School. And I knew that I wasn't going to make it at school with my breathing like that. Because how can you be a dancer and you can't even properly breathe? Our breath is the thing that keeps us going. Not even just in dance, but in life as a whole. And if I'm not honoring the breath in my body, then what am I doing? Something changed. Something shifted. My grandmother passed in 2016. And I was away at school at the time. And I know for a fact that if I did not shift the way that I was existing in 2014, my grandmother passing would have took me out and probably would have ended my time in New York. But because I saw my life spiraling the first time, I said, I got to change something. I don't like how this feels in my body. I don't like how my friendships feel right now. I failed my classes. What is going on? I need to go figure something out. And don't get me wrong, I've always heard differently than most people. My spirit has always been a little more sensitive than most people. This I do know about myself. But at the same time, I believe that we all have the power to tap into if we truly desire so. But it's about the willingness to stand alone. And that I did have. I still do. So many people say they want community. So many people say they want better for themselves. You say you want a greater life, but you're not willing to truly do the work. I had to step away from the partying and say, I need something different for my life. And I couldn't worry about what other people might have thought about it. And now here I am, 3+ years sober, living in another city. I lived in New York for 9 years, successfully, from 20 to 29, or 20 to almost 29. And that's nothing but the grace of God, because I listened when life was saying, you need to get it together. It's time to listen. It's time to listen. It's time to listen. But to listen, to hear, you have to allow yourself to be quiet enough. And that's the one thing that I used to always exist in. And I'm not going to lie, now I be watching YouTube. I be doing all these things. I don't watch TV. I haven't owned a TV in over 10 years. That's also something I did. I knew how much I love TV, so I stopped watching it. I moved to New York without a TV intentionally. Everyone asking me, why you don't want a TV? You don't want a TV? You don't want a TV? No. New York is my dream city. And I got too much that I cannot lose. And I'm not going to lose it over because I'm being distracted by something so trivial like the television. Binge watching shows and commercials. And I love commercials. But binge watching all these things, taking the time away from what I truly need to be doing. It's not worth it. It was not worth it. And it's still not. It's not saying I don't watch shows and I don't watch movies. I love movies and TV shows. But without having a TV, I get to decide what I see on a day-to-day basis. Because I only watch on my phone and my computer. I don't have streaming services. I don't have all these things. So what I watch is curated to what makes sense for my life. It's time to listen. It's time to listen. And I'll never tell anybody to stop smoking or drinking. But I can say that I'm a living witness and a living vessel. That I'm better without it. It's never a goodbye. And it's always a see you later.